Yo, what's up? Happy Sunday, everyone. I promised you a free tutorial today, so here it is. This is a principle that I created that allows you to do a visual, ambitious, rising card completely impromptu. So check it out. So here's a concept that I created, I don't know, over a decade ago. There may be a screenshot on screen of me performing this in my pajamas to my webcam. And it's a concept for a visual, ambitious, rising card. The thing is, this is not super practical, so I'm going to show it to you and then I'm going to teach it to you. But it's completely impromptu, so you take a card, and it can be signed, and maybe you've been using this the entire way through the routine. You take a step back and let everyone see at home that it's left out jogged about half its length from the deck. Now watch carefully as that card begins to visually rise slowly through every card in the deck. Now you can see it's really close to the top. You can actually see the 6 there. If I blow, it melts all the way up to the top of the deck. Alright, I hope you all like that effect. Stick around because I'm about to teach you how it's done. But first, comment below to let me know if it fooled you, to let me know if you think you know how it's done. And in the meantime, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to see more of this content. Okay, so a few of you probably think that this is Daniel Garcia's Fallen. It's not. Some of you may think it uses things like this to create the image of a deck. It doesn't. This is, as far as I can find, over the last 10 years, this is actually unique to me, and there's a reason for that, and that's because it's not the most practical thing in the world. In fact, I don't think I've ever performed this once for a layman. But I'll show you how the routine works. So you perform your normal ambitious card routine. The card jumps to the top, jumps to the top, jumps to the top, until you want to do the visual element. Now, this is perfect for social media, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. But you take a card, and you're gonna show the card out jogging the deck, right? But this is what's not really happening. You're not actually placing the card halfway down, okay? What you're doing is that you're creating a false image in the spectator's mind that the card is halfway down, out jogging the deck. So what happens to this is that you take the deck and you riffle to the about halfway point, and you mimic placing the card in. And what you're gonna do is overkill the deck like this, right? So you're gonna come over, they think they can see this, you do this, and what in reality what's really happening is that instead of here at the halfway point, you're gonna re-break around, I don't know, 10 cards down, maybe 8. So you show this big break, and this makes them think, this conditions them to think that the card's halfway. And then what really happens is that you get much less cards beneath this thumb break, okay? So anyone that can just riffle the edge of the deck with their thumb, you should have no issues doing this. If you can't do that, if you find it difficult to milk towards yourself because you feel like these cards are going to fall, you don't have to use the thumb at all. You can show the break here and close it as you come over, keep your hand gripped, and place the card in the same lowish down position, alright? So once the card's here, you're going to place it in, leave it out jogged, and in reality it's about 10 cards down. And this is where the principle comes into play. Now I need to create the image. I need to recreate this false white space image, right? This is the thing that is going to sell the illusion. But to do that, there's only a handful of ways it can be done. Some people like to use paper false deck fronts. Some people like to use gimmicks and things. I won't talk about other methods because they're not mine. But what I do is as I come back to show everyone that the card's about halfway down, and again, it's hard on camera because it's low down, but in performance you come all the way back and don't let them see this much of the front edge of the deck. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to use the borders of the cards to create a false front of the deck. So if you look, if I spread the borders just so that there's no red card showing, I'm doing this I'm over exaggerating this, but now that card looks like it's lower down in the deck. The reality is that it's there, right? So you can see it looks a lot lower down from the front than the side. Now the reason this isn't that practical, to be honest with you, is because you can kind of see, you can see the lines of the borders right here. But on camera, with a little bit of overexposure, it looks like it's really low down. Alright, so that's the actual situation. Again, my hand is in mechanic's grip. The card furthest back is not sticking out on its own. I try and keep it deep in the heel of my thumb. And my hand covers this side here, so they don't get the look at that, right? And I do it dead on. So it's dead on to camera, or if you're going to try this in the real world, do it one-on-one. But this is the image you create here. And as far as I can find, I'm the first person that's used this concept or created this concept. And I'm happy to be wrong. The first time I recorded myself doing this was a couple of years ago, I think over 10 years ago on YouTube. And I put it as an unlisted video, but it's me in my pajamas in my bedroom. Maybe there'll be an image on the screen right now. And then I posted it on Instagram a couple of years ago. And again, I shot it with like not the best quality camera to sort of hide the fact that it's not a real front edge. And I'm sure, as everything in magic goes, I'm sure it's been created before by someone before me. I just can't find them yet. So with that being said, you're in this position, cards out jogged. Now the way I get into it really quickly is I grip this block of cards and I drag back. Now the fresher the deck you have, the better. But as you come up, I'm going to grip. As I come down, I'm going to spread. And it happens in one motion, so the timing of it is like boom. I show this, I begin to spread, making sure I can see enough of the white space that I need to, and come down. From behind or to the side, this is kind of what you see. I come up, I'm showing this, I'm beginning to spread slightly, like that. Try not to flash underneath the deck. I'm beginning to spread. Once I'm confident, as I come down, I can really get the most out of that spread. Now it's not a lot. If you look close here, you can see it's not really a lot of cards. It's just enough to make the illusion that it's deeper down than it is, at least noticeably deeper for the audience, okay? So from the top, you show the card, make a big crevice, but then you're going to secretly replace it about 10 cards down. As you come up to show, from behind, I'm just going to spread like that, boom. And now I give this moment a second to sink in. And here's what's going to happen. Two things is going to happen at once. I'm just going to let these cards coalesce so it squares, right? And you can use your thumb here and your middle finger to square it slowly over time. You can try and do it one-handed, but it does get tricky. I've tried this a lot over the years, but it looks odd. And it never quite lines up right. But if you're here, you can slowly give a slight bit of motion to cover whatever's happening. Like, so people can't really focus on what's happening. The other thing is the real sort of other half of the secret to this is that as I come up, as the deck coalesces, I'm going to tilt the deck up to the line of the camera or the spectator, right? And that on its own gives the illusion that the cards rise in anyway. So if you've really got it halfway down and you do this, watch, it looks at the card, slowly rises up, and if you tell people it's happening, they'll sort of tend to want to believe that it's happening. It's an odd thing, but combine it with a slight amount of visual confirmation. So I'm gonna, as it comes up, I'm gonna tilt up. It's gonna look like it travels up a lot further than it does. So watch this. I got my thumb at the back, which is gonna help the coalesce in. I'm gonna shake, I'm gonna tilt until I get to here. And now look at that. As I come around, I can show that card looks like it's melted up around, 3/4 of the deck. The last part now, when a card comes to the top, you're gonna tilt up and show that it's there. And then it's going to come and melt through the deck. And this is really simple. My thumb, it goes on the corner here of this top card, right there. And my index finger is going to touch the top edge of the X card, and my middle finger is going to touch the side edge with my middle fingernail. And as I come up, as soon as the back of the deck goes out of sight, I'm going to squeeze my thumb and pull it to my index finger. Exposed view is this. I'm just going to align them, all right? But performance view, that happened, right? And then as I come down, I keep it squared, and that's why these fingers are here to square the two corners, right? Come back down and show it, and just calmly steal out and display the card. And at this point you're ready, you can do another phase of ambitious, you can, if you don't want to do that, you can end the trick here, you can palm the card off and hand this away, whatever you want to do, it's up to you. So one more time, sort of from the top and kind of exposing it, you act like you're placing the signed card about halfway down, maybe a bit more as you overkill, and I'm going to show everyone then that it is truly halfway down the deck. I say watch as it begins to visually rise as I square and tilt at the same time, and then show everyone that card has actually risen visually all the way through the top of the deck. And that's the explanation. So I hope you all enjoyed that free tutorial from me, guys. I've been Lloyd Barnes. If you enjoyed that and you want to see more, I ask for one thing in return, and that's just to press the subscribe button. It costs you nothing and it helps me go a really long way. So if you like that tutorial and you want to see more, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what interests you, what you think maybe I should teach. And anyone that's feeling super generous, hit the little like thumbs up and drop a little ding on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when they come in. Thank you all so much, I appreciate it. I've been Lloyd Barnes and I'll see you in the next video.